my vessel.
Hello, I was just sending mail to Vincent in
Ah,
regards of where where to meet, so I'm glad to see you.
yes. Vincent, are you nearly done?
Yes.
I believe we have quite a few things to speak upon.
I think so, yes.
Where did you want to meet exactly?
We can meet up in my meeting room if you're comfortable.
That is quite alright, though I will need help as it is bright day.
I've got you.
Okay.
Thank you. Uh, perhaps I shouldn't have gone to the overworld yesterday.
Are you okay?
My eyes are very sensitive, despite wearing a metal crown.
I could have met you guys in the end.
No, it's quite alright. I did want to get out of the end more.
That's understandable. Will this work?
Yes, this is
Okay.
alright.
Oh,
So,
hold on.
oh,
Sorry.
apologies.
Oh.
So,
Okay. Um, I know that you guys have questions about a law that has yet to be made, I don't know, tangible, but is upcoming. Do you want to start there?
that would be nice.
Okay. Um, do you have questions? What was I know you guys had concerns.
It's not really questions, and the void will take me, so if I need to repeat something.
Okay.
The issue laying in would be with some of the resources that come up. Yes, we have water. We unfortunately can't do anything about grass,
Correct.
moss.
I believe part of what I will be revising in Lucette's plan, she's quite ambitious, is that it not be necessarily overworld specific, but realm specific. So you're equivalent to what a grass would be that's easy to come by in your realm.
Very well.
I see. And other thing that would need to get looked over again would be some sizing requirements because some of that math is loosey goosey, if you will. Sometimes too big, sometimes maybe too small.
Okay. Um, if I'm from the ancient city where we don't necessarily have animals, nor do we have worries about their care. So, part of my intention of this meeting was to potentially get input, and I do plan to reach out to the Nether as well on something that we can maybe all come to the middle on. If you have suggestions or inputs on this law specifically, would you be willing to send me a book or a letter with those suggestions so that it's comfortable for everybody?
Of course. Though I feel as if you would need Apollo more than I, as he's more driven for this kind of issues.
That's fair. I I don't want to limit anybody's access to things like animals and such because they are integral to the food making process, at least from what I can tell. So I am more than happy to take input from whoever the expertise would be held by currently.
Yes. As for other subjects, since I presume this animal law is still yet to be properly decided, so let's not spend too much time upon that matter. Uh, recently, or hmm, I can't say recently, I don't exactly remember when. I have been told that your captain ran into
Mhm.
something, perhaps?
I know that he brought a friend through yesterday, because this is part of my concern as well. He let me know that voidlings are capable of falling essentially into the overworld, and that's apparently what happened to this citizen. Or is
Hmm.
that not what you're talking about?
I fear that may not be it.
There's the issue of the portal as well.
Yes.
I have curiosities about it. Mostly just why it exists.
It is mainly because of the war. The reason why it
Mm,
is there now and still active is because we have yet to take it down from the war.
okay, so
The
it's
it
not being used.
was no.
Okay,
We constantly use the waystones rather than the portal itself.
I think that was
The
my biggest concern. Was
Yes, the portal, it was meant as an escape and ways of ambush for the Endurian people and to use them against goblins. It's connected or very close to Blackthorn, which is where all our military are stationed.
that's understandable, and I do hope that it provided refuge and respite to those that were in need of it at that time.
Yes, it was difficult as the realms were quite in shambles. Both all the cities, though Stellaris had taken a hit as well. Blackthorn was wiped almost completely. Ruins buried under the endstone dust.
The the I guess overworld side of the portal is thousands and thousands of blocks away from the castle, so it wasn't necessarily a concern on the castle so much as just a curiosity as to why it existed, and that makes sense. So I appreciate you being willing to divulge.
Of course. I understand why there may be mistrust for it, but I can assure you there was no ill intent.
I appreciate that. I do not necessarily wish to see it taken down so much as potentially monitored, and we will monitor from this end as well if we can come to those agreements.
I would prefer if we properly write that down. If we are to monitor it, I assume you still want the toll payments.
It it depends on what the use for it is. I'm not sure if the side that comes out on the end is of public knowledge or what that might include. If it is still connected to Blackthorn and used for refuge and respite, I would hate to see a wounded citizen of any kind struggle to run from anyone because they don't have payment. However, if it's just a traffic source, then yes.
I
It does
understand.
lay in the middle of both the bar and Blackthorn, but
I will have to ask around to see if anyone has properly used it outside of the war. But as far as I know, it hasn't been used since the war.
Okay. As long as there's communication, I think on those standards, we can develop, I guess, a meeting in the middle of sorts for the portal.
Hmm. That would be preferable, yes. Hmm. Is I did hear of a flower festival. I did
Yes, the
want to
flower
talk
festival.
about that.
I actually wanted to extend an invite to you.
Thank you.
Of
It's
course.
much appreciated, especially when I do want
Mhm.
to escape the end. Perhaps a few of my troubles.
I, growing up where I did, it started to feel very closed off. And sometimes, even here at the castle, still feels too open. So I can only guess that growing up within the walls that you did, in the lands that you did, starts to feel very closed in. So,
It is very different from the open battlefields. I can't say I miss the openness, but at the same time, it's nostalgic.
I could see that. There are times here where I struggle with how loud it is still, but I think it's a pleasant loudness so far, anyways.
Hmm. When is this flower festival?
It is on the 22nd.
Ah, my birthday. I see. Then,
We wanted to, well, mostly I wanted to have an opportunity to know the citizens I've yet to meet because there are many faces that I'm unaware of, but I also wanted to get to know you and Lorinthia better as well.
I see. Are there any sort of rules for this flower festival that I must abide by?
I know that Ophelia is the one throwing it, and I think for the most part it's just in honor of the equinox, as that's important to the flower spirits.
Hmm.
Um, I know that all of the overworld citizens do get a +1, so I am not entirely positive who all will be there, but I
Hmm.
can ask her for a more tangible set of rules and regulations that I can forward to you if you would like.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I can get Christark out more. He's in desperate need of it.
I am not positive who all is coming, but I would love to see more faces from the end.
Of course. Haven't seen many overworlders.
I can say the same. We came, well, I guess I came for the trial and got pulled away, so to speak. So I didn't get to spend much time, but
Hmm.
that's not to say that I wouldn't like to.
Right. Hmm. Apologies. Let me reorganize my thoughts for just a moment.
Of course.
um,
Hmm.
Are you all right?
Sorry, not really.
As for your advisor, who is now in charge since Pyra, well, has sadly
Currently,
passed?
um, currently, Arlo is acting as my advisor and my captain.
I see.
Mm.
He actually put that in a letter he sent me about two of our own.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
He's
Lysium debacle.
the what part of me understands that this. I want to speak about the citizen for a moment, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Um, Arlo, being my knight captain and acting advisor currently, adventures and watches the grounds. And I'm just curious how does one fall into the overworld? And
That only happens if you are a voidling. One
okay,
can fall, but only us voidlings can survive the void, and we will fall
okay.
from the sky of the
I was
overworld.
interesting. I don't know if you've checked in on Olivier, I believe is his name. How is he doing?
Well, we did give him a tour of the end.
Mhm.
Uh, he seems to be readjusting slowly. I am working to find out more information on him,
Okay.
as I do not remember him. It's hard as I try to keep track of all those lost and knowing that perhaps I have forgotten someone. It worries me.
That's understandable. If there is anything that I can do in support, please let me know.
If possible, could you keep a watch out for voidlings that you have not seen before? Because
Of course.
if Olivia has survived, there may be others.
Of course. I would gladly keep an eye out. Uh, it mostly concerns me that they survived. Is there any sustained damage or anything of that nature from the falls specifically?
Well, we have the ability to control our gravity,
Mm-hmm.
so surely we don't take too much damage, but I do know that Olivia did hit his head on his way down. That is what he described.
That's hard to deal with. But yes, like I said, if there's anything that I can do in support, definitely let me know. Aside
Yes.
from keeping an eye out, because I will definitely make sure to do that as well.
Yes. It is worrying that although we have accounted for many losses, there can still be those who survived if they had fell through the void.
With as closed in as this kingdom has been due to my mother's reign, I worry along the same vein of thought, where there are citizens that are out there that need assistance or that have survived the war and have not reached out or different things of that nature. So
All
I
right.
completely understand.
Mm. Thank you.
Of course.
Is there anything pressing other than the events we have discussed?
Not currently. I definitely want to get your input on the animal law and find a middle grounds with the portal, and just assuring that all citizens are accounted for and safe. So,
Of course. We can exchange letters to properly settle with the law.
of course, I will keep you as updated as I can throughout the process and let you know in finality when the law reaches its end point, I suppose.
Thank you. And to perhaps lighten the heaviness of the meeting, could I get a tour of the overworld?
Of course. I don't want to. Okay, are you
Thank
okay
you.
with being carried?
I.
Dude, it's fine. It's a bright one.
It is very, very bright.
I'm hoping once the sun goes down that we can get a good majority. But the castle, you've seen. Did you see the ballroom for the coronation? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is the main quarters. I'm going to take those off.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
It's quite alright. There's not much you can do about it.
We're getting there.
Be back indoors soon.
Oh. There we are. Ah.
This building is more for the court and kind of a general relaxing spot. There are
I
a few
see.
rooms upstairs, but not many.
It's quite luxurious.
Thank you. It was made with peace and space in mind.
I see.
I have been considering taking this out due to potential damage to Netherians, but nobody really spends that much time in here unless it's of the royal court, so.
Fair enough. Ah, the sun's going down.
I was gonna say, we timed that just right.
Lovely.
Need to wait a little.
Jude, thank you. It's quite odd to be carried around like this.
Well, I mean, if you're blinded, I understand it. I wouldn't want you to be unsafe just because.
I hear phantoms.
Yes.
Yep.
So, this is where most everyone has seen the Waystone and.
Ah. There's quite a few.
Yes, so Shrieklings can't sleep.
I see. Quite. Seems as there's quite a few people around tonight.
Surprising, because usually there's not this many. This is just the courtyard where our integral buildings kind of are.
I see.
And the only other real gathering location we have is this way to the west, where the flower festival will be held. I'm happy to take you there if you like.
That would be nice to maybe get away from the loudness of the phantoms.
you want to walk, we can. If you want to waste stone, we can do that as well. It just would require somebody picking me up and then coming back.
We can walk.
Okay. After this point, it gets less safe.
Ah,
Be fine.
look at you.
Alright.
You can take
Sorry
the
about that.
blow of a
We might
creeper.
see Yes.
Ah. Is this where it is?
Yes, this is where it will be held.
It's very nice. And
Ah!
Careful. Should I
Hmm.
go this way?
yes. Are you alright?
Yes, I am good. Safer around the building because of the cats.
I see. Cats keep phantoms away.
Yeah. This is kind of the main building. It's not quite decorated yet.
Ah. Quite spacious.
Yeah, I just finished rebuilding. It took quite the hit during the war.
Hmm.
And there's quite a few little tents laid out outside.
Ah. Right. It's a very lovely place.
Thank you. You must not get weather in the end.
No, we do not. It is often very cold, however.
I did notice that.
Yes, we have quite a few ice crystals floating around in the vast void.
The only ice we have is up there.
Ah,
Other than that, it stays decently warm.
I see.
I think the flower spirits still struggle. It's still too cold for them in some places, but
Hmm. It's a very lovely place.
thank you.
I am excited for the flower festival.
Good, I'm glad. I can't wait to see. The theme, however, is pastels.
I did hear. How annoying. Snake, don't get near the cat.
Nope, the cat sends them away.
Lovely.
Interesting.
Though we don't often deal with phantoms in the end. The most they appear are within the Shadow Forest.
I did hear and experience briefly the Enderman?
Yes, they can be found pretty much everywhere within the end. They are quite large in population.
We get a few here, just not like I saw there.
Yes, there is quite a few. Maybe I need to start investing in a bow because this is starting to bother me.
Do you want to go back inside?
They will still spawn.
Yeah.
Shall we head back to the castle? This time, perhaps we should warp stone.
Yeah, well, there's a stone up here, or because we all have the waystone, we can use these as well.
Yes. What is that building over there? That is...
This is our blacksmith in the back. This is the post office. And then up here, the unfinished building, is going to be a kitchen.
a kitchen?
Yeah.
I see.
I enjoy cooking, and there's a few citizens here that enjoy cooking and baking, and rather than...
You as well?
Yeah. Well, and rather than pass them through the castle, I figured we'd give us a public place to hang out and do those things when we have time.
Well then, would you like a few of these? I had made them myself.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. I will trade you those.
Ah, thank you. Oh, I see that the sun may be rising shortly.
Hopefully, the meeting answered more questions than left us with.
Yes. I will keep in touch with everything.
Well, and even if it's not always law forward, you can reach out anytime.
Of course. Careful.
Rude?
At least the tree provides cover from the sun.
Yeah.
Careful. Cannot see much. This.
Does the tree help at all?
It does protect.
I believe these are some of yours.
Yes, they are.
I got them from Lucette.
Lucette, I see. Careful.
Oh.
Careful. There you are. What were you saying?
I was going to say if Lucette's ambitiousness becomes bothersome, please let me know.
Then I worry slightly upon Apollo's relationship with Lucette because a few rather unsavory words had slipped in description of me. However, I believe that is something I should not speak of simply because it is not my place to. And it is more personal rather than, well, public.
If he should so desire to come and speak with me about it, I would be open to that. As far as, and this is less serious and more on a personal note, if it was something that hurt your feelings, I've had to learn that not everybody likes me, and
I
that's
am
just
well
not.
aware.
That's I can't let it be my problem, you know.
Yes, I understand. It is something that comes with being a ruler. We must make
Yeah,
hard decisions, and not all will like them.
exactly. Don't let her upset you. And if it does get to that point, like I said, definitely let me know
Of
because
course.
I would be willing to intervene should I need to.
I, as of right now, do not believe it has come to that need, but
Okay,
thank you.
of course.
With that, I believe our visit to the overworld is, well, over. Uh, I don't want to be out here much longer as the sun rises.
That's understandable. Would you like me to escort you back to the Waystone?
Yes, please. That you may need to pick me up for, as there is no shade. Uh, I will be needing to rest my eyes well after this.
Do take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Of course.
You as well.
Of course.
Farewell.
Farewell. Safe travels, Vincent.
Hi. Sorry, you just missed all the festivities. There was skeletons on skeleton horses, and they were everywhere. And so no, they shot and broke this, but I also noticed this one over here is just gone. Yeah. It was gone before they showed up. I noticed it was gone while trying to, like, maintain a safe but reasonable distance on your guys' meeting. Yeah. And like, I'm not out a whole lot on it. Like, it's not crazy, but it's minorly inconvenient. Yes, I noticed that the end people had showed up, and I had not seen hind or hair of Captain Arlo, and so I watched from the hillside to make sure that you didn't get attacked or anything. It seemed civil. Some, some, yeah, more pleasant than I've seen them be. Very much. But I know that they get a little hostile sometimes. Well, maybe not hostile. They get a little defensive sometimes. So I got nervous when the stuff got brought up about Arlo finding a portal or something. I was like, please be civil. I'm not gonna try to find a portal. I like it here. I hear the one dimension's really hot, and I hear the other one's really cold. And this is a nice middle ground, and I prefer that. Yes, I thought I would let you know that that has disappeared. And, oh, friends. No, I was just gonna ask, you wouldn't happen to have a spot of milk, would you? Yeah, I'm good. That's okay. I'm pretty good at taking a fall. I got this. Hold on, hold on, hold on, don't jump. Oh, thank you. Now I won't start problems. Oh. It took away my weakness from not having my pack here, but did not take away the bad one. It seems I required double. Or maybe a bucket. Last time I was in this place, I got picked up. There's your bucket back. Yeah, that worked. I'm safe now. Safe to socialize again. Is this the kitchen where all the fancy smells come from? There's a lot in here. What's this? Oh. I don't like beer very much. Stinks and tastes even worse. The only tea I've had is the tea that was at the coronation. It makes you dig really fast. But not for very long. Yeah. What are you mixing? Oh. Butter's good on things. Butter alone's not good. Ooh. Are you going to the flower festival? Oh, good, me too. That's fair. Seems like a good place to meet people. I'm in the way. I'm in all the ways. Oh. So like a vegetarian charcuterie board. Yeah, charcuterie. Yep. That seems like pretty good options. I don't know any good recipes. Uh-huh. Are we sure it's a flower festival? It sounds like a food festival. This is true. This is true. I'm gonna just try all the food. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you have your own cupboard in your own castle, but I did not expect it to be labeled. Um, well, that's very thoughtful. This say, this is a very clean kitchen. There's not a lot of food on the ground. No, because there's a bunch of wolfkins everywhere. Food does not have time to hit the ground. I don't know. I've tried so many foods, but also not very many foods. I like foods. I would eat your foods. Oh no. Cherry tomatoes instead of robust tomatoes. No, that's lettuce. Robust is a type of tomato. Some of them are master tomatoes. Yeah. There's all kinds of tomatoes. There's even tomatoes that are grown specifically for hamburgers. Yeah, they're called a hamburger tomato. Yeah. I don't really like tomatoes. Yeah, I tried to eat one by myself when you were picking them earlier because I threw it and you ran away, and so I picked it up and tried to eat it. I don't like it. Yeah, it shot juice all over me. They make good sauce, though. That was so scary. Because I was like 100% sure that I was already small, but then when I transformed into being tall, I kind of got stuck under this pot handle, and it made me feel like I was shorter than I was before, and it scared me. Yes, I thought maybe I was going through the floor. I thought maybe your warden would like to speak to me, and I was worried. No, he was trying to drag me down there. Have you seen the things down there that scream at you when you're noisy? I don't like those. Because I was digging a tunnel, and I came across this tiny little cave, and I made a noise, and it went, and then it went, and it scared me. And then it was dark, and I couldn't see very good even with my wolf eyes, and so I ran home. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, you could make, pasta, what is it, pasta and meatballs or something? Yeah, pasta with meatballs. That one is very, very filling. It makes you not hungry for a long time. Do you have more kitchen up there? I would like to see. Oh, these are all people's names. And that's a mincer. I have a mincer. The one, the one next to my blacksmith? You're gonna do me so dirty. Because I'm gonna have to smell the cooking from the castle and the cooking from next door. And it's gonna be so much cooking, and I'm gonna just be 500 pounds. That's fair. I feel like the least amount of people you can have in your personal space is probably the best. I also maybe feel like I shouldn't be in here, now that I've said this. Pasta and meatballs. It's roasted chicken thing, I think maybe you mentioned? I don't know. You were making noodles for something. Um, was it pasta with lettuce? Nope. It is. It is a thing. Did you eat the pasta with onion sauce that I made? Was it good? I accidentally made so much. Yeah, I made some for you, and then I had like, see, I'm the winner. Whoa, where does that go? Somebody could just fall into your kitchen. Oh, see, you've done yourself dirty. You come down here and cook, and then you go up there to sleep, and you've opened up the floor so that the smells will fill your room. You're a foodie, aren't you?